Hi, my name is Parisa, and some of you might remember me from my previous video, the introduction video. And I'm here today to talk about biofilms, and we're just going to talk about some of their general characteristics and how they work. So this all starts after bacterial cells infect a host and a host cell. And they land on a surface, and after landing on a surface, in order to adhere to that surface, they start to secrete a sticky sort of material known as the extracellular polymetric substance. And that sort of acts as a protective barrier to help, again, the cells to adhere to the surface that they've landed on. And so they also use this matrix to help them hide, sort of, and be protected by anything that's hostile to them. And this is also the thing that makes them so difficult to eradicate and for infections to clear. So that's partially how they form. But as I said, the bacteria, they travel into the host cell. They start to excrete the extracellular polymetric substance. And this also allows the cells to kind of stick together. And with that, the cells have their quorum sensing. And quorum sensing is basically a method for the cells to communicate with each other. And this is done by each cell actually sending out quorum molecules. And that helps the cells to communicate because as cells send out signals, they also receive some of these signals. And so for them, the more signals that they receive, the more aware they are of how many other cells are in the area. And so the more cells there are, basically after some point of being bombarded with these cells, this actually triggers these cells into activating previously suppressed genes. And this is done to produce enzymes that they may not have made before and helps the cells to change shape. And in changing shape, the cells actually can grow pili. And at this point, the pili help the cells to arrange themselves within this matrix and to adjust to their new environment. So in regards to persistence, these biofilms basically allow the bacteria to live successfully within the host cell. And after some time, they grow and they become more difficult to get rid of. So interactions with the host, these basically make patients very sick. And again, there's kind of steady growing, and at some point, we'll have some cells end up leaving the matrix and traveling to a different host cell and infecting that host cell and even possibly growing more of this biofilm in another area, again, making patients very sick. So a common method to address an already existing biofilm or an already existing infection of biofilm, doctors would tend to administer a high dose of antibiotics over a short amount of time. And this helps to actually disrupt the bacteria and their process. And that disruption is what will lead to the clearing of the infection. So this is done also while the patient receives prebiotics and probiotics to assist the good guys, the good bacteria, because antibiotics will also get rid of our good bacteria that we do need. So we want to help those guys out. And also sometimes digestive enzymes are administered to help break down that extracellular matrix. And so that also helps the actual medicine, the antibiotics, to reach the bacterial cells. But generally, prevention is key in any field of medicine. And so there are some drugs that are used to actually block the sensing, the receptors for the quorum sensing, so that the cells just don't communicate with each other well enough to the point where they get together to start the creation of this biofilm. But there's also kind of another method in opposition, and that is where we would administer drugs to help increase and amplify that quorum sensing, to make it seem like, or to trick the cells into thinking that there are a bunch of cells around them, so then they start to create the biofilm, but in doing so they actually make themselves known and visible to the immune system, and the immune system can go ahead and attack that biofilm and try to get rid of it when it still has small numbers of bacterial cells. But yeah, so thanks for watching.